May the Holy One, blessed be he, grant it to us and to all his people, the house of Israel, for life and peace, for gladness and joy, for deliverance and consolation. And let us all say, Amen. And then we get to sing, we do Blessed Are You, the Baruch prayer. And since Blessed Are You is that prayer put into music form, that's why we do this particular song.
You know this. Oh, okay. In the Saturday, this morning, because I got a habit now of sunset to sunset passing, I just get tired. I get busy dancing and then without drinking water. That's
we light the candles. We have 2 days left to celebrate this. And this song is based on a traditional prayer that is done at Hanukkah. that one, but not this one. And then that one,
And then that one.
reflection.
But not this one.
Okay.
Because I didn't do that one.
Okay.
Don't you love how I tell you how to do things?
Walk in the light. Come, house of Jacob, let us walk in the light. Walk in the light. Walk in the light. Come, house of Jacob, let us walk in the light. Walk in the light of the Lord. Come, house of Jacob. Come, house of Jacob, let us walk in the light. Walk in the light. Walk in the light. Come, house of Jacob, let us walk in the light. Walk in the light of the Lord. The haughty man is humble, lofty one brought low. For the Lord alone will be exalted in that day when every knee shall bow. Every tongue confess that Yeshua is the Lord unto the glory of God. Come, house of Jacob, let us walk in the light. Walk in the light. Walk in the light. Come, house of Jacob, let us walk in the light. Walk in the light of the Lord. The pride of man is humbled, arrogance and base. For the Lord alone will be exalted in that day when every knee shall bow, and every tongue confess that Yeshua is the Lord unto the glory of God. Come, house of Jacob, let us walk in the light. Walk in the light. Walk in the light. Come, house of Jacob, let us walk in the light. Walk in the light of the Lord. Walk in the light. Walk in the light of the Lord. Walk in the light of the Lord. And there's another one, Janie, that you don't even know about yet, that I'm going to do now. You are holy. This is the one that God showed me for Hanukkah, and I haven't been able to let go of it. As for me, start that again. As for me and my house, we will serve this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve you, Lord. We will serve you, Lord. We will serve you, Lord. Because that to me is exactly what Mattathias, what his son said. You know what? I don't care what the rest of you guys are doing. I'm serving the Lord. I am serving the Lord. And there is that day we have to make that choice. And then you said we are a reflection. Yeah. Because you know, when we serve him, then we become his hands and feet. We reflect him to the world around us. And if we are not reflecting him, then we're not doing what we're supposed to be. We are a reflection to the world that is dying. We're here to show his love and his care. We are a reflection to the world that is trying. Oh, let us shine the light of Jesus. Let us share. For he's the greatest light that shines before all. He's the greatest source of power. Here is all. We are a reflection to the world in this time. Let us share the light of Jesus. Let us shine. We are a reflection to the world that is dying. We're here to show his love and his care. We are a reflection to a world that is crying. Let us shine the light of Jesus. Let us share. For he's the greatest light that shines before all. He's the greatest source of power. Here is all. We are a reflection to the world in this time. Let us share the light of Jesus. Let us shine. For he's the greatest light that shines before all. He's the greatest source of power. He's all. We are a reflection to the world in this time. Let us share the light of Jesus. Let us shine. Let us share the light of Jesus. Let us shine. Let us share the light of Jesus. Let us
Okay. Now let's do more worship.
More worship?
I'm just in the mood.
You know me, I'll worship all night long if I'm let, you know?
Yeah, I can do it. It's all mixed up, but I can do it.
You'll do fine. You're just sharing.
Okay. Okay, guys. Do you want the tray now? Now this is all mixed up because I only know one thing that I really want to share. That I really feel like I need to share that. We really need to look at. But then there's a whole lot of other stuff too. So, the month is Tevet. It's the 10th month from the sun. Its name came from Babylon, and it shares a root with the Hebrew word tov. And tov is good. It begins with the last days of Hanukkah and the ever-increasing light of the Hanukkah. Now, if Hanukkah is early, like early in December, then it's increasing, through Hanukkah is increasing in darkness. But if it's later, then it's increasing in light. Because the longest day of the month, the longest day of the year, shortest day. The shortest day of the year is December 21st. So we like Hanukkah to end after December 21st, because then it's more and more and more and more light instead of more and more and more dark. Other than Hanukkah, there aren't any, quote, good days. There's only fast days. There's the fast of the 8th and the 9th, and those are, if you want to fast, you can fast. The 8th is when they translated the Septuagint from Hebrew to Greek, and the 9th is the death of Ezra and Nehemiah. And those you can choose to fast. But the 10th of Tevet is a fast for everybody, because that's the day Nebuchadnezzar came and laid siege to Jerusalem. He didn't capture the city yet. He began the siege on the 10th of Tevet. And it says it talks about it all over. It talks about it in 2 Kings. It talks about it in Jeremiah twice. It talks about it in Ezra. And if you want those, I can give those to you later if you want them. And there's in one of them, I think it's in Ezekiel, but I'm not sure. It says to remember this day. Write this down. Write this date down, because this is when Nebuchadnezzar came, and this is when they laid siege. And then there are some good things that happened, though, because Esther was crowned queen in Tevet. And she got to show what she believed. She believed in God, and she believed in following him, and she believed what she had been taught. And she chose to follow him. And she chose, even if it meant her death. She inquired. She had the whole community fast, and they all asked God, what do you want me to do? And she's decided that she would go before the king, and if she died, she died. But she was doing what God told her to do. That was her destiny, to save her people. And she chose to follow God and follow his leadings and do what he said. She trusted him with her life. And that's the good part. She walked in the light. She walked in the ever-increasing light of what he wanted and what he said to do. Now, we agree that we're all born with a purpose, right? God has given us all a purpose. God has given us all a destiny. Now, sometimes we can be like Esther and fulfill our destiny. But sometimes we're like Samson, who didn't fulfill his destiny. Samson was born, the angel came and told Samson's mother that he was coming, that he was going to be born. She was barren, and the angel told her that she would have a baby boy. And the angel told her that he was to be a Nazarite. And the angel told her even while she was carrying him, she couldn't cut her hair, and she couldn't eat grapes, and she couldn't drink wine. And it seems like there's another one, but I forgot what it was. Even while she was carrying him. And then when he was born, that's how he was supposed to be. And so then he was born, and he grew. And as a little boy, of course you can keep a vow like that because you're just a little boy. And you're more ruled by your parents than by you. But once he grew up, he had a struggle following his vows. He had a struggle even following the commandments. And he instead of going and inquiring of the Lord to do things, he let his emotions rule him. And so he let his anger rule him. He let his lust rule him. He let his pride rule him. He misused all of his gifts, his strength and all of his gifts. He misused them. And he never did ask of the Lord. And so until the very end. Wait a minute, where's the rest of my Samson? So he went his own way, and he allowed the tears of the wrong women to sway him. First it was his wife, and he ended up setting fire to the fields and doing a whole bunch of bad stuff that wasn't good. Then it was Delilah, and he ended up without any hair because he told her what the vow was that made him strong. And so she cut his hair. And so then they captured him and they put him in to do the grain, just like a donkey. They gouged out his eyeballs, made him blind. And so that was his life, was to just go around in a circle grinding the grain. And then the Philistines decided that they were having this big to-do for one of their gods, and they decided to bring Samson out and laugh at him and use him as, look at Samson, look what we did. And so they went and got him and put him between two pillars. And this time he did pray. This time he said, Lord, give me strength for this one last thing. And the Lord answered his prayer. And he pushed him over, and the whole thing fell down and killed him and killed the Philistines and killed a whole bunch of people. But it wasn't his destiny to just kill the Philistines. His destiny was to deliver his people from the Philistines. And in choosing his own way instead of God's way, it ended in destruction. And we have a choice. Because God has given each of us a destiny, we can choose to ask the Lord and follow his direction and fulfill that destiny, or we can choose to be ruled by our emotions or by other people, and that only leads to destruction. So the choice is ours. I forgot all about Dan. That was my end. Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Samson is from the tribe of Dan.
That's why I did Samson's, because Samson is Samson was a Danite. And Dan was Jacob's son by Rachel's maid. He was the first of the concubine's son, or the maid's son, whatever you want to call those ladies, the maids. They not a wife.
Concubine.
Yeah. And the sixth son. His name means to judge. He has two emblems. There's the scales, because he is the judge, and then there's the serpent. And you see both of them because in the book of Judges, you see both of them because that was the time. The Judges was the time. And Samson was a judge. And Samson is screwed up, but that's okay. And the serpent, you see, because evil worked its way into the tribe and had a handhold or a foothold. Anyway, evil had a hold because Dan was one of the first tribes to fall into idolatry, and they did a lot. They had a lot of idolatry in their tribe. And they even had idolatry. They had like the center, like Bethel was a place for the good stuff, for the temple and stuff. They had an altar, but it wasn't to Jehovah God, it was to the golden calf. And so that was idolatry. And then they were just not good guys sometimes. There were two guys that were good that got to help build the temple. Later on with Solomon. But generally the tribe messed up quite a bit. Part of the reason they messed up was because of where their land was. Their land bordered on Philistine country. And that's why Samson got into so much trouble, because the Philistines were their neighbors. And the Philistines decided they wanted the land that Dan had, and so that's why they kept attacking Israel. And that's part of why Samson had to do what he was doing. And because they kept coming and attacking, the Danites decided to search for a new land. And they went and found Leshem, which is north of the Sea of Galilee, and in the middle of three principal sources of water for the Jordan River. And it's also near Mount Hermon. So they captured Leshem, they possessed it, and they settled there, and they named it Dan. And it's the northernmost part of Israel. And you hear from Dan to Beersheba, and that means from the north of Israel, the northernmost part to the southernmost part. So that usually when you hear from Dan to Beersheba, that means the whole entire place. That's all I have.
Well, one of the things they did when they went to get the land that wasn't theirs, is they encircled a town that they weren't supposed to, and they slaughtered that town.
And they were peaceful.
And it was a peaceful town that had made peace with them. And they saw what they wanted, and they went after it regardless of the cost and regardless of the price to others. And that's a greed issue that the tribe of Dan has had to deal with. And that's part of what happened with Samson.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted what wasn't supposed to be his. He wasn't supposed to drink wine. He wasn't supposed to cut his hair. He wasn't supposed to have anything be near death or touch a dead body. That was the third one, yeah.
And he wasn't supposed to marry a Philistine woman.
Nope.
And he wasn't supposed to have an affair with a Philistine woman. If he would have just
done what he was supposed to do. But
And he could
but
fulfill his-
when he got drunk, which he did, that was one of the first things he did was to get drunk. And then remember he had killed all these people, and then he scooped honey out of the carcass of a lion. He killed a lion, and he scooped honey out of the carcass of the lion, and that was touching something that was dead. That was the second vow that he violated completely. When he told her to cut his hair, that was the final vow to be cut, and that's why the strength was in the hair. It wasn't that the strength was in the
I
hair.
think it was revealing his, the secret, because he revealed to Delilah.
Right. Well, the strength was in his vow to God and his honoring that vow. And when he broke the last part of it, the strength was gone.
So that's why when he was standing by the pillars, standing by the pillars, and he asked God, he inquired of God. He said, please, God. He turned to God instead of himself. He knew he couldn't do anything, but God could. And so I think that's why God said, okay, here, and helped him to knock the things down. I just
Would you call it a pillar fight?
Pillar fight, yeah. In the end, in Revelation, Dan's not mentioned in the 144 that are sealed.
That's right.
He's not in that list of the tribes. However, in the millennial kingdom, when the tribes are allotted land again, he gets a land too. So that means he's got to be restored. He's got to be restored back.
Who's taking over Dan's place, because it's still 12 times 12. I mean,
Levi.
Levites, I see.
Because Levi is not always counted in the tribes.
Okay, yeah.
Ephraim isn't in there either.
No, it's usually Joseph.
Yeah.
Well, when you take Levi out, you count Levi, Ephraim, and Manasseh all. If you have Levi out with Dan in, then you count Joseph. But when Dan is left out, I think it's Ephraim and Manasseh that are counted, and Levi, to make it 12.
This doesn't say it.
I get lost sometimes in all of those details.
Yeah. Dan was the last one to get their allotment.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say how in the, well, I should have looked it up in Revelation. It probably does say how. It just talks about the northernmost part. It talks about Israel being cut or apportioned in equal portions, 12 equal portions from this side to this side. So the whole land. Dan is at the very top. And then one of the other maid's kids is at the very bottom. So it makes it sound like he gets his first. The last is first, because he was the last one the first time. I don't know for sure.
I just know when it lists the 12 tribes for the 144,000, Dan is not mentioned.
Yeah, Dan's not there.
And
He's
Dan
not
is
there in quite a few of the things.
several of the countings after the Second Temple, after the Second Temple was built. The tribe of Dan never returned from the diaspora. So that when they were all carried off, the tribe of Dan was the first carried off because they were the closest. And so the tribe of Dan, and they all got carried off into captivity, and the tribe of Dan is not represented again within Israel until the millennial kingdom. And we are told in Ezekiel, in that kingdom, that Dan will be there.
And do you notice that the northern and the southern is held Judah, and then here the northern part has so many
That's
judges, kings that
Yeah.
were and mixture from kings, Benjamin tribe, and then to the so God had to be fair that they were given the chance to rule, and they're just all idolaters
I know.
and corruption.
Bad guys.
Well, it comes back to that greed and that idolatry, and that wanting what isn't
And
yours.
that's what we are here, the our nation. So we become like an enemy. There's an enemy within when we're away from God.
And what we're to learn from that is that we don't want to be that.
Yeah.
We don't want that. We
Yeah.
want to stay close to God. We want to choose to serve God, not
We want to stay on the path of light, not the path of darkness.
right. We want to be ever increasing light.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's our choice. Because the light leads to fulfillment of our destiny,
Right.
and the dark leads to destruction. So, guys, the choice is yours.
Yeah.
Except I'm making it for you.
So you're making it for us?
I'm making it for you.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know what you're doing now.
Take the light. I want green restoration. Okay. They all burned out.
Look at that. Oh, that shouldn't still be burning. What time did you light it last night?
At 5 o'clock.
That's supposed to last 24 hours.
Wow.
Okay. I'm choosing the path of light. Are you choosing the path of light?
I am.
I have to go back to him.
I am in the light. Me too.
Did you go out again?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Pull your
sometimes-
wick out. Father God, we are all choosing
I put the CD in the machine.
you.